Is that a movie? Is that a movie? Is that a movie? You suck. You think. Hey, welcome to Is That a Movie? I'm your host, Xandre Vara, and this is a podcast where I try to convince my millennial girlfriend movies are cool.
And I tell my almost boomer boyfriend that they aren't.
Okay, that's aggressive. Boomer? Boomer, I thought, first of all, okay, boomer is like 1945, 1940s, 30s, right? Isn't that like after post-World War?
I mean, if you're going to argue with me, you should know.
Well, well, no, I should know because I'm not a boomer. That's the whole point. Why would I know what my generation... I know my generation because I was born in it. There's no reason why I would know...
Okay.
Okay, well, what classifies a boomer then?
It's the year that you were born. Don't ask me what the years are.
Well,
this isn't you.
I wasn't born then.
Prove it.
I would be 120. Or
no, dog. Boomers are like 70, bro.
No, boomers are like, yeah, you're right. They're like 70.
I know. My mom is a boomer.
Okay, so then how can't you do the math? First of all, and then on top of that, weren't you the one who was the one that figured out that I was Gen X and not a millennial?
Could have fooled me.
Okay, well, speaking of fools, let's go to what I like to call intermission check-in, where I ask Kate, halfway through the movie, what's going on. Kate, what do you think is going on?
So we met Batman. He seems mysterious.
Sure.
He rolled up on those two dudes. A lot of makeup. Notice that. And then...
So the question is, what has happened?
Well, we met Batman, as I said.
Okay, so let me phrase it in a different way.
Phil Mickelson is now the Joker. Mm-hmm. But he fell into like a vat of something, some kind of chemical. Mm-hmm. Chemical X. Yeah, so now he's all crazy faced. Yeah, that's what I remember.
That's it? Okay.
So anyways, the movie was...
Batman. Was released in 1989. Directed by Tim Burton. Composer was Danny Elfman, one of my favorites. Produced by Warner Brothers Company, starring Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Kim Basinger. And it actually, I don't know if you know this, but it won an Oscar. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. What do you mean, how?
Were there no other movies that year? I feel like there were other movies in 89.
There were a lot of movies. Actually, a lot of my favorite movies in 89. Okay, well, we'll get into that. This is the portion where you tell me what you thought the plot of this movie is before I read it to you.
Essentially, the Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and he had a big fall.
What?
And all the king's horses and all the king's men fucked up his face.
Baby, this is not the right. That's not the same.
No,
movie.
I'm just.
How is he Humpty Dumpty?
Because he fell into that vat.
Yeah, but I didn't realize Humpty Dumpty was a sociopath.
Oh my god, have you met him? Of course he is. You ever met a giant egg? Shit costs $47 now. Shout out to
Yeah, I've been to... Yeah.
Anyways, so
okay,
the point
plot
of the movie...
1989 Batman.
It's really just about the Joker. It actually has nothing to do with Batman. The movie is not even about Batman. It even could be said that it's kind of about the chick.
Okay, this sounds like conjecture. Just, if I was your teacher, what would you tell me?
It was basically just about these two dudes fighting. But they don't know that they're fighting yet. They're kind of fighting over a girl. In the end, no one gets her. The Joker's face gets fucked up and he goes a little cuckoo. That's what I got for you. That's the movie.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of succinct. Like if I was your teacher and that was like your movie report.
Yeah.
C-. Probably the grade you gave this movie.
I'm gonna say that's about what the movie was worth. So
to you.
Yeah.
To you. Okay. Let me read the actual plot summary.
How long is this shit about to be? As long as the movie,
from
probably.
IMDb. Gotham City crime boss Carl Grissom
Who?
effectively runs. You watched the movie, babe.
Prove it.
Grissom.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Who's Grissom?
No clue. I just remember seeing the name in the closed captioning in the subtitles.
Okay, cool.
Couldn't tell you who it is.
So there wasn't like a crime boss. Well, let me read the plot summary and see if it. Yep, Batman's the crime boss. You're right. You know what? This podcast's over before it began. Who's Phil Mickelson, baby?
It was the Joker.
100%. Okay, so the plot of 1989 Batman is crime boss Carl Grissom effectively runs the town, but there's a new crime fighter in town, Batman. Grissom's right-hand man is Jack Napier, brutal man who was not entirely sane. After a falling out between the two, Grissom has Napier set up with the police and Napier falls to his apparent death in a vat of chemicals. However, he soon reappears as the Joker and starts a reign of terror in Gotham City. Meanwhile, reporter Vicky Vale is in the city to do an article on the Batman. She soon starts a relationship with Batman's everyday persona, billionaire
Peter
Bruce
Parker.
Wayne.
Oh, shit.
Bruce. Who did you say?
Peter Parker.
Who's Peter Parker, honey?
I thought it was Batman.
Who's
but
Peter Parker?
Now
Baby?
Bruce Wayne sounds.
Who's Peter Parker?
Baby, who's Peter Parker? Baby, who's Peter Parker? Baby,
Spider-Man?
Who is Yes, thank you. Okay. Moving on.
I was really hoping that was Superman. That's Clark Kent. Fuck. Hey, at least I knew. At least I knew. Cheers.
Moving on. So, did any of that plot summary ring a bell?
Yeah, he fell in the vat.
Who did?
Joker.
Yeah, okay. Well,
That's what I said. And then there was that chick. I win.
Vicky Vale?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So let's just get into it. Clearly, I need to.
We're into it.
I need to jog your memory about what fucking transpired in this goddamn movie.
Hey, in my defense, it's been 3 days, 4 days?
That's right. To be fair, we generally record these episodes either right after the movie or a day after the movie. Our schedule's been a little hectic, so to be fair, it's been at least 3 days?
3 or 4 days that
Since
we watched
you watched it. Okay.
And my memory is already trash.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Garbage.
Okay, let's go. Let's get into it because
let's do it.
It's obvious you didn't like it.
I didn't love it.
Okay,
no.
so before we get into all the negative shit that you're about to say about it, let's just start with the positives.
Okay.
What did you like about the movie?
The beginning. Don't ask me. Don't ask me specifics. I don't have them. I don't have them. I have in my notes, so we take notes. I'm excited after the opening credits. I think the vibe, I was intrigued.
It's a fucking great beginning.
The opening credits, well, it was giving Tim Burton, and I'm going, I'm going, gosh, it's going to be so weird and different and 3D animation or something. And then as soon as it started.
That's amazing.
As soon as it started.
See, here's the thing. We are 11 years apart. Whenever you were allowed to watch movies.
At 19 years old?
Exactly. And you're...
I wish that weren't a joke.
Yeah, it's not a joke. This is the biggest reason why we have this podcast. She's never seen a single goddamn movie.
Well, we made the comment you did that growing up we were both really lonely children.
That's true, yeah.
And that the biggest difference between our childhoods was that movies were your escape and I didn't have one.
Right.
Which is really dark and really sad. Take pity upon me. No, but...
I think that's what I miss the most about 80s movies is that 80s movies to me always address the darkness of children's loneliness.
Sure.
So many movies, and we'll, I'm not going to bring up, but the audience might know, Neverending Story or Labyrinth. Movies that kind of deal with imagination or deal with loneliness or dealing with, understanding adult conflict or adult emotion. Because imagine, as a child, you can see things as very black and white or as very oh yeah, it's not a big deal. I don't know what that means.
Sure.
And then look back on it and be oh my God, that was an awful time for someone who was an adult. But your perception is always based on your innocence.
The only way I could watch TV was in the living room with the family, and almost every channel had parental blocks on it. I mean, even literally ABC Family had blocks on it.
That's
So
nuts.
even Seventh Heaven was too.
Seventh Heaven.
We're
Yeah, we're digressing.
We're digressing
Okay, let's
so
go back
bad.
to the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Anyways.
so it's a discussion for another time. But anyway, where were we? Okay, so what I'm saying to you is,
I was excited after the opening credits because I felt like it was a 3D animation.
well, because you saw Tim Burton,
Right.
and then you heard the music and you saw the opening,
Yeah.
and you were like expecting something grandiose. What I'm saying to you is because there's a difference to most people, and I'll tell you this further on. That was a huge new thing back then.
What was?
That beginning.
Okay.
For Batman. And here's your connection to it because I know that you watched the Adam West Batman.
I have seen the Adam West Batman,
Mm-hmm.
and it was phenomenal.
Maybe
it was so good.
I don't think anywhere on the internet has Adam West's Batman was so good has been the hottest take of this episode.
It was so good. It's done.
How is it good?
It's funny. It's cheesy. It's quirky. It's entertaining. The way that they have those pop-up speech bubbles with the boom, bang, pow. That was so much fun.
What if I told you that those exist in this Batman?
They don't.
And you missed them.
Then they weren't there.
Yes, they were.
Or they weren't good.
They were there.
Nope.
Do you want me to tell you where? And I'm going to watch your face change right now.
I won't even remember. Go ahead.
Do you remember the scene where he's fighting in the alley and they almost take his mask off? And Vicky Vale is on the roof and she takes a picture and uses the flash and he gets up. They sync all of the hits that Batman gives with the flashes of her camera. They're meant to be an homage and a reference to the whams, pows from the original Adam West Batman. 1966, I think, right?
Hate it.
Okay.
Hate it. Don't care.
All right. Well,
I did pick up on the pictures when Vicky Vale is there, right, taking the pictures with the flash.
Yeah.
I did pick up on a little bit of that. Like I really did. And I was kind of like, "Oh, okay." But then I kind of thought that maybe that was going to go deeper, go somewhere and be something in the movie, and it wasn't.
What, her taking the pictures?
Yeah,
Well, he stole them from her.
What?
Remember, he takes her back to the Batcave wearing the bat suit, and then he says, "I want something you have." And then he opens his cape, and you see all these bats fly in. Very Tim Burton. And then she wakes up the next day in her own apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And she looks in her bra, and the roll of film is gone. Because she tried to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, you were disappointed because the credits initially conveyed that it was going to be fucking grandiose and Tim Burton and cool and 3D, like animation.
Well,
you do realize this is before CGI, right?
Of course not. I don't even know what CGI means. You think I'm kidding? You think this is a joke? So anyways, and you know what?
So let's keep going on what you liked.
Well, that was
it.
Mostly it, actually. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what else I have. Well, because obviously my notes are in order of the movie. I'm taking them during the movie.
Chronological.
That's what I said. But all right, so if you just want me to tell you the things I liked.
Yeah, let me hear about the things you liked before you tell me all the things you detested.
I loved Phil Mickelson. I thought that was great acting.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
I thought the character was great. Well done. The acting, very well done. And then also
he's a great actor.
Great actor. The scene with him. And I don't remember what was going on or why he was doing this.
Which scene?
But there's a scene where he's cutting up pictures, right? And the camera pans out like a drone, like above him. But it pans out and you see like on the table there's all these cut up pictures. And then you see on the floor there's all these cut up pictures. He is a madman. He's just been cutting up photos, whatever. And he's just by himself with all these photos cut out on the floor and everything. And he's kind of got this evil laugh going on. I thought that was a very striking scene.
It was.
I thought that was beautiful. Well done. That gave me insight to like, oh, this man is batshit ironic. But the Joker is batshit insane. Dun dun dun.
Batman. R.I.P. Adam West, by the way. He
True.
used to be on Family Guy.
Yeah.
He was awesome on Family Guy.
And also MASH.
Never seen MASH. This is a movie podcast, not about sitcoms or TV shows.
Anyways.
Anyway. No, you know what? And you initially said that you felt that this movie wasn't about Batman, it was about the Joker. And it honestly does sometimes feel that way. Because you get way more insight into Joker,
Yeah.
but superficially. Like, see, that's the thing about the movie. If you're someone who like is not paying attention or is just like, hey, I'm just gonna sit down and watch this movie. Yo, the Joker was a lot of fun. That Phil Mickelson guy is a really good actor. What's his name, baby?
The Joker?
Yeah.
Joker.
Okay.
You mean the actor?
No, it's not. It doesn't matter. It's. I'm not going to correct you on it. We'll just because there's going to be other movies that we watch with him in it.
He's in The Shining.
He is in The Shining. You've never seen The Shining.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyways,
what I'm saying is, it makes sense that you would think that the Joker is sort of the main focal point, and that just has a lot to do with he's one of the favorite villains of the comic books. He's one of the favorite villains of the series, and Batman is supposed to be clouded in mystery. For example, why did Bruce Wayne go and drop off roses on the alley?
Well, that was where his parents were killed, right?
Right, yeah. Even in the new iterations of Batman, you might start with like a scene starting with him doing the crime fighting. But this one has a little bit of mystery as like, who's Bruce Wayne? Which, again, doesn't hold up fully.
Like, we know who Batman is.
If you didn't know who Bruce Wayne was or what the fuck that meant.
Wasn't allowed to read comics, so.
That's frightening.
But my older siblings were allowed.
You know what? I'm just so glad that the world today, compared to 1994, is so much more open, progressive, that, you know, the banning of books is not a thing.
Anyways.
Moving on.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, it works on a level where if you didn't know who Bruce Wayne was, you can watch the movie and pay attention, and it kind of tells you his backstory without you realizing that they're one and the same person. I think a lot of people come into it thinking, oh, I already know who Bruce Wayne is. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Imagine a child seeing that for the first time.
Sure.
You see this guy in a fucking cape, and then you see this rich dude, and like, who the fuck is this guy? The movie works on that level.
I'll be honest with you. Yeah. Even as somebody who understood that it's a superhero dude with, you know, a alias, whatever, like his everyday persona, and then his superhero persona, I got through a little over half of that movie before I realized who Batman was, who Bruce Wayne was.
Like, were you watching the movie wondering, why is this guy in this movie?
Kind of.
That's my point.
I literally was going through, like, I was like, is it him?
That's my point.
Is it him? Is it that guy? Like,
that's why that movie works.
Who is behind that? And I kept trying to literally, like, look at the eyes. And then as we were watching the movie, I'm like, whose eyes match those eyes?
Finally,
and I could not figure it out for at least half the movie.
But that's you're proving my point. I mean, you just said that. You're agreeing.
Well, then I take it back. Speaking of makeup, oddly enough, something that I don't tend to notice or pay attention to or care much about.
This is good.
It was weird the fact that I noticed it.
Yes, tell me
and
more.
It bothered me the fact that I was able to notice it.
I'm so into this right now.
The very beginning of the movie, the two guys on the roof.
Go on.
Right?
How bad the makeup was. Fuck.
The fucking makeup. I literally wrote...
They're drug addicts.
I said, two guys at beginning, clearly makeup. Took me out a little. Because
it took you out?
I was distracted by the fact that
you watched Tim Burton movies.
I'd love to finish the sentence. And I get when it's like, you know, when the point of the movie is that, hey, this is overly dramatic, it's theatrical, like, you know, I can understand. I watch drag. I get big makeup, you know. It was just so very clearly makeup because that was, I don't know, like it was like they had lipstick as bruises on their eyes or you know, circles on their eyes, where it was too much makeup for what it was. It was clear that it was makeup and it took me out. I was like, wow, that makeup team was probably underpaid.
Actually, I can tell you what the budget of the movie was, because they definitely weren't. They shouldn't have been underpaid. The budget was $35 million in 1989. which
That's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
So where did it go?
What do you mean? See, this is the part I don't understand. I think you misread the whole thing. That makeup was on purpose. They have like red baggy eyes. They're fucking
I
addicts.
understand.
Have you met a crack addict?
No.
Again, age difference.
Yeah. But no, it's not an issue with what the makeup was. I understand they're drug addicts. They haven't slept. Their eyes are all, red or whatever. I don't have an issue with what it was. I had an issue with, it seemed like it was done to the point that I shouldn't be able to tell that it's makeup, and I was able to tell.
Like you
It
felt...
should have felt more real. Like it should have just
Which is
looked like
weird
they
to
were
me
drug
because
addicts, and it looked like two actors in makeup.
But here's the thing. It's so weird to me because I feel that you have an appreciation for the few Tim Burton movies you've seen where he kind of goes a little over the top.
Do you know how many Tim Burton movies I've seen?
One.
What do you think it is?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Exactly.
So you've seen one Tim Burton movie and you're basing... This makes so much sense now. Okay. You've never seen Beetlejuice.
Okay, no, I have. But that was also... Okay, I've seen it, but it was so long ago, and I don't know if I made it all the way through. I was a kid. I probably fell asleep 3/4 of the way through.
On the next episode...
No, but the makeup in that was specifically clearly meant to be makeup. When you look at Beetlejuice, it is clear that it's meant to be clear that it's makeup.
This is what I need you to do.
That's my argument.
No, and I agree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But I think what is important is context. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to read through the list.
Okay.
Tell me.
I'm almost done. I didn't
all
take
your
a lot
points,
of notes. Okay.
And then I want to go into like the context of the makeup and the context of a comic book movie before we delve into the next segment.
All right. So we love a hot take. We love a comparison, right?
I always do.
Xandre hates when I make a comparison.
See, here's the thing. I don't hate it.
You do, because you think that they're all wrong.
But sometimes you're right.
Yeah. Do you want to know what the Batman was?
Tell me.
Great Gatsby.
Okay. All right. Please explain.
Well, right, you were talking about how kind of the point of Batman or Bruce Wayne is the mystery.
Sure.
Gatsby also.
100%. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Also very rich, wealthy, well-to-do.
Extremely wealthy.
Also,
the wealthiest man in the world.
Also Gatsby.
Yep.
Right? The place where he sort of like resides or whatever, it's kind of really cool and fun, like he's got this nice car. He drives quote unquote into the cave, but like it's mystery, but it's fun, it's exciting, it's borderline sexy. Like it's the Gatsby. He's the Gatsby.
Okay, this is falling a little flat for me because I feel like I need a little more. Like what else?
Well, that's all I got for you.
That's all you got? Okay.
It's the rich man shrouded in mystery who wants the woman. It's Gatsby.
Let's delve into a couple of things about the comics that you have no aware of. Batman doesn't kill.
Right, of course.
Which there was actually a problem. A lot of people protested that movie because the Joker dies at the end.
What movie?
The one we're talking about on this episode. Yes. The Joker dies at the end.
Oh, okay.
Right. So the two main things about the three main things about Batman. His parents were killed, right? And he became a creature of vengeance, right? He has all the wealth to fight crime and clean up Gotham City, but his one rule is he doesn't kill.
Right. Which makes sense.
100%, because he has a moral code.
Right.
He does not kill, and he's the world's best detective. So that's the conceit of Batman as a whole.
The Joker dies.
Right.
And it's sort of alleged that it's Batman's fault. But Batman didn't really kill him. It was sort of an accident, right?
See, I don't know. I kind of disagree with that, and I kind of agree with the comic book nerds. I still love the movie, and I'm not willing to disparage the movie because of that fact. But what I will say is the thing that bothers me is Batman already killed him once. When he fell into that vat, Batman thought he killed him. Yeah. And then he realized, he goes, oh, I just found out Jack Napier is alive when he's the Joker. So he already committed murder, technically.
The one time.
Yeah.
He does it again.
And then he does it
He's
again.
actually bloodthirsty.
I mean, he's a bat.
He's a Batman.
Let's delve into the next segment of this podcast. Just a couple things. This is what happens throughout the whole movie. Vicky Vale comes into Gotham City because she's heard stories about a guy or a 6-foot fucking bat. Grissom, who has corrupted the entire city, and it's a fucking shitty city.
Mhm.
The first scene is awful. I mean, it looks like Times Square in 1977, you know? So here you are, this shitty fucking city, this family gets attacked, and there's a vigilante.
Right.
She's there to do the story.
Sure.
So that's your way in. You are Vicky Vale as you go into this. And then you start finding out all this stuff about what's happening in Gotham City, the nuance, and then you see Grissom runs the city. His right-hand man, Jack, is fucking his girl. So he's pissed off. And then he finds out that he's, either laundering money or running like illegal chemicals or dumping, whatever it is. And he sends Jack on a job as a setup. Jack reads it right off the bat. He goes, yo, we've been set up. Watch out. Cops show up. And then Batman shows up and then drops him accidentally in the bat because his glove slipped. Everyone thinks he's dead. Grissom is good. Joker comes back, takes over the business, goes to a meeting with all the other crime bosses, takes over. No one knows what's going on. Murders the mayor with a pen to the fucking throat, which, by the way, as a kid, quite possibly the most violent thing I've ever seen in my life. A clown with a sharp fucking feather just darts it in someone's fucking throat and they die.
I did enjoy that scene.
Because you like violence.
Well, I don't.
You like cinematic violence.
I still
Like, you
don't.
like clever ideas of, like,
I
how...
like cleverness.
Hmm.
I like cleverness, whether it's violent.
Yeah, it's not
or
real,
not.
baby. Yeah, okay.
well, right. It was creative.
Yeah, I was kind of
and
just
I
running
liked
through the
that.
entire movie,
Yeah.
and just saying, and then Batman realizes that the Joker is the guy that killed his parents. You did get that, right?
I forgot about that, but yeah. Yeah.
She forgot about...
Xandre's gonna kill himself. Is he gonna use a pen to his own throat? That's the question.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Speaking of quotes.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? That's not it? Okay.
No, even though I tend to not like or enjoy the movies,
Sure.
there's usually at least a quote that I really find
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
meaningful
Love
or
that.
important or inspiring, right? Batman didn't have one. That's the problem. I thought
What you mean he didn't have one?
there was no good quote for me that
I'm Batman.
But that's not, baby. The point of the good quote is that it's something that, like, stands out. It's deep. It's meaningful. It can be applied to everyday life, or something. And
I have one that's meaningful. After he burns the guy to death, he says, I never liked you. I'm glad you're dead. And then he cackles and laughs.
well, that was hilarious.
It was so funny.
That was such a great line.
And that evokes a sense of foundational sanity
Sure.
to our egos, which is why the Joker is so disturbing. Because he says things we want to say, but he acts on them. That's the scariest part.
Okay.
We are all him. God damn it, I'm proving your point that this movie is about him.
All right, my last note is that the character of Batman, hated it.
Wow.
And I liked his character as Bruce Wayne. Like, I liked his just kind of
Demeanor.
yeah.
He was like
he had-
charming, cool,
Yeah.
chill. Yeah.
yeah.
Great
You know?
eyebrows.
Okay. I liked him as Bruce Wayne. I liked, he has a good look. He has a
Yeah.
good kind of demeanor and everything. But something about, I don't know if it was just specifically the costume of Batman, whatever it was. Like, there was something about just the character of Batman in this Batman movie, in this rendition. I fucking hated it.
It's time for Batman or Man-Bat. Basically, all you're supposed to do is that Batman is a combination of two words, bat and man. So, 20 seconds on the clock. You have 20 seconds to make up as many words as you can that begin with bat or begin with man. Ready? 20 seconds set. Go.
Batcave, Batmobile, Bat Boy, Man Cave, Manhole, mansplain, manspread,
5, 4, 3, 2.
manic, mania.
You got manic in there. That's about it.
That's
Mansplain
8.
and manspread don't work.
They do.
No, they don't. Mansplain is not a word. So you have 7. 7 words. Good job.
Okay. You let me have manspread. True.
All right. Do I get 20 seconds or what?
Yeah, dog. Are you ready?
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't say the same ones you said, and I already forgot what they were. So here we go.
All right. I'm counting down. Ready?
Ready?
Set, go.
Manners. Batter. Manner.
3,
Manners.
2,
Manner.
1. Time.
So I got 3.
So you actually got 0.
I got 3.
None of those are compound words.
They're not supposed to be compound words.
All of mine were.
No, they weren't. What are you talking about? I have a recording of this.
Bat Boy, compound word.
No.
Man Cave,
Oh,
compound word.
You're right. Can I go again?
No, dog. I win!
All right. A little bit of trivia about this movie that might piss her off, or it might actually intrigue her. Robin Williams was supposed to play the Joker. Robin Williams was offered the role of the Joker when Jack Nicholson, not Phil Mickelson, hesitated. He had even accepted the role when producers approached Nicholson again and told him Williams would take the part if he did not. Nicholson took the role and Williams was released. Williams resented being used as bait and not only refused to play Riddler in Batman Forever, but also refused to be involved in any Warner Brothers productions until the studio apologized.
What did you say? This trivia might piss me off?
Yeah.
Don't yell at me. Piss me off.
Maybe you don't care about movies, and maybe this was information that you don't care to know, or it doesn't mean anything to you.
Incorrect. I am angry because I am a Robin Williams stan. He never did anything wrong.
It broke my fucking heart when he died.
I cried.
So did I. The moment I saw it on TV, I started crying. And I was like, why am I crying about an actor? And I was like, oh shit, he's been so integral to my entire fucking life.
I cried as a depressed person who thought, gosh, here's a guy who's funny, silly, fun, friendly, charismatic, bubbly, and himself. Dog, if there was no hope for him, there was no hope for me.
Yes.
Shout out to Robin Williams, R.I.P. We love you.
Yeah.
I will literally never watch another Warner Brothers film again.
One of the lights of my life, in terms of my childhood especially, and in terms of something I love, like films. Like, he was just so fantastic in everything he fucking did.
It's crazy because people, who I think people that don't struggle with that, you've heard and you've seen, people say like, oh, it is the coward's way out. And
it isn't.
Like, dog. Yeah. Anyways, all right, more trivia.
Moving on. Batman's voice. Michael Keaton, who calls himself a logic freak, was concerned that Batman's secret identity would be, in reality, easy to uncover, and discussed ideas with Tim Burton to better disguise the character's voice, including the use of contact lenses. Ultimately, Keaton decided to perform Batman's voice at a lower register, a technique that became a staple of future portrayals of Batman in film, television, video games, especially those of Kevin Conroy and Christian Bale.
I don't know who Christian Bale is.
And you don't know who Christopher Nolan is?
Who's Christopher Nolan?
Correct. Okay. The Joker received a percentage of the gross on the film, and due to its massive box office take, he took home around $60 million. This equals roughly $143,359,355. That's a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yep. Michael Keaton, who played Batman, or Bruce Wayne,
whichever,
pretty both ways. Michael Keaton was unable to hear while wearing the Batsuit. He said that his claustrophobia helped him get in the proper mood to play Batman. Quote, "It made me go inward, and that's how I wanted the character to be anyway, to be withdrawn."
I wonder if that was what I was picking up on. There's some scenes where his eyes are kind of moving, like almost like fluttering, like he's like looking back and forth kind of quickly. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's like low-key was just him having a panic attack on film.
Yeah. Last bit of trivia. In the film, the Joker has to mask his chalk white face in the scene where he burns that dude and he starts wiping his face.
Yeah.
It's
I was
white.
mad confused.
Okay.
I almost stopped the movie and
I'm
was
glad
like,
we're
babe,
bringing this up.
help.
Okay, I'm glad we're bringing this up. So,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
when he comes into contact with the vat of chemicals,
right.
when you see his hand come out the vat and he's got green fingernails and white hands, that's his new skin tone now.
It's like a chemical burn that's
Right.
turned. Okay.
So when he shows up to the meeting with the giant smile, he has makeup hiding his new, like, completely
complexion,
pearl white face.
Yeah.
So he has makeup on. So then when he kills the guy and he starts wiping it off, that's why there's white underneath.
I was confused. I was like, does he have ash on his hand? Like,
No,
what's going on?
He's wiping that makeup off. But what you have to understand...
I wish that would have been clearer. That's so cool.
But what is really cool, he has 3 layers. It's his own skin, the white latex, or the Pax, and then another layer. And in the rag that he uses, they found out, the effects guys, the paint that they used on top only dissolves with alcohol, and the bottom one doesn't. So they were able to make a trick to make it seem like...
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish that would have been clearer. I was mad confused about that.
But again, you don't know that about the comics.
No, I mean, I understand, like, Joker, like, I've seen Dark Knight and stuff. It's just like Beetlejuice. He's got a white face. I get it, you know? But I just thought that was, like, the take. Like, I thought this was, like, Tim Burton's America. where the Joker isn't white. You know, I thought that was the vibe, was that, you know, in his take, in his rendition, the Joker is just an everyday person with regular appearance other than the face, the smile.
No.
I thought that was the take. So when he wiped
So you
off,
missed the complete scene when he was doing the face surgery?
I didn't remember his face being white during that.
They don't show his face. They only show his hand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, because he's kind of, it's the back of his head.
Which, by the way, isn't that a frightening fucking scene? Or do you not remember it that well?
No, I remember it, and I thought that it was almost done well.
What did you hate about it?
Okay, so the doctor is like carefully peeling, right?
And then he's like gets
and
impatient
he's like,
and rips it off.
He's like, fuck this, and he starts ripping it off. It's maybe too real because he kind of struggles with it.
Okay.
To get it off of his face.
Yeah.
I wanted him to just rip it off, like, cinematically.
See, that's
dramatically.
This is where you and I disagree. It was
actually too real, and it.
I love the fact that, to me, everything else was like, I know this is a movie.
It was like a blooper they forgot to cut out.
No, see, to me, that seemed real. I was like, oh, this, because there's blood involved now.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, there's no blood.
He's anxious. He's panicked. He's trying to get it. Yeah.
There's no blood in the rest of the movie. It's the only time you see blood. Where do you see the blood? On the blades after the surgery, when they take that 2-second shot. Mm-hmm. When the doctor's like, you see what I have to work with a German accent. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you see the tools, and there's blood everywhere. And he just like starts taking it off, and he's like gets impatient, and he looks at it and starts crying. Mm-hmm. But it's that one static shot behind him, and your brain starts to be like, what happened? Why is he crying? How bad is it?
Yeah.
And then he starts laughing. And then he grabs the mirror, and you're like, okay, we get to see it. And he smashes it.
Yeah.
And then just runs upstairs, like just fucking cackling.
Yeah.
To me as a child, freaked me the fuck out.
It's odd, right? Because he's upset, he's stressed, and then he starts laughing, which I sort of get. You're kind of like, you're so stressed out, you don't even know what to do. Like, you just laugh. They couldn't put Jack together again.
Next tidbit.
Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. God damn it, I hate it when you're right. The Batmobile was built on the chassis of a Chevy Impala. You didn't like that car?
I love that car.
Fucking A, I love you so goddamn much. Did you just say it again to me?
I love
Tell me you love that. Oh my god. Okay, great. I love you. I love that you're from the South. It's the best. The Batmobile was built on the chassis of a Chevy Impala and incorporated the engine of an Impala, the taillights of a Ferrari, the fuel caps of a London bus, and jet engine parts from a Harrier jump jet. The sliding cockpit was also inspired by that of a Harrier, with the slim windows of a gun emplacement. So, like,
She was beautiful.
It's fucking dope, dude. That car is so great.
Yeah.
Art director Terry Ackland Snow added the headlights of a Honda Civic to the vehicle after noticing them on his wife's car.
I'm dead. Amazing.
You are amazing.
True.
I think you are the Wizard of Oz.
Or am I the Great Gatsby? I'm Batman.
Final grade. Let's go. So what we do is we grade it based on A through F, and then stars, like most people, out of 10. But we have a very specific metric, which is Kate's method, which is
So out of the plus or minus 10, 0 being a true neutral, I gave this movie -6.
Well, what I have written here is -4.5, but it's -6.
The
Okay.
more we talk about it, the less I like it, and especially the whole thing about Robin Williams. I hate it even more.
Wow. Letter grade was
D.
Mm-hmm.
A D.
And then out of 10 stars.
So 4 out of 10.
All right. So grade is D, -6.5.
-6.
-6, and 4 stars out of 10. Do you want to hear mine?
Yes, because okay, you have kept this from me.
I have.
He has been diligent to not let me know what his ranking is, and he keeps saying that he thinks his rating is going to surprise me. Now, can I play the newlywed game where I guess what I think you're going to say?
Yes, please do.
Because you have not told me, and I could be
No, I have
way
not.
off.
Yep.
But because you think,
Or you could be spot on.
because you say that you think it's
Mm-hmm.
going to surprise me.
Yeah.
And you love movies.
I do.
So based on that alone, I'm going to guess that your letter grade for this movie is a C-.
Oof. Okay. How about this? That's the letter grade. What do you think I gave it on your metric, like plus or minus 0?
Plus or minus 10? I would think that you would give it like a 3.5 positive. And out of 0 to 10 stars, I think that you would give it, I think it's the same, like 3.5.
Okay. The grade I gave it was a B-.
Damn.
The Kate metric, I gave it +6.
Damn.
And out of 10 stars, I gave it 7.
I think had you not told me it would surprise me, that would have been what I guessed.
Well, because to me, this is an easy A. Before we watched this together, this movie was an easy A.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, no doubt.
And you watch movies.
Yeah.
They didn't make other movies in 89?
If you were to ask me anytime, you see me have conversations with people who like love movies.
Yeah.
Someone's like, Tim Burton's Batman, maybe B+. B-, I feel like I'm being generous.
Wow.
It's not as good as I remember it being.
Wow.
But it's because I watched it with you. Like, I'm kind of watching it through your eyes, understanding attention spans have changed, culture has changed. And I think it's a huge problem with a lot of people when it comes to like art in general. Like, you always want to assume that something is, if it's so good at that time, it is then anchored as like the metric by what beauty is or what art is or what music is or whatever. And it's not. This movie to me means two things. One, it was a movie that helped me as a child when I said, I'm so excited to see this, and I was allowed to see it and enjoy it for everything that it was as a child.
Sure.
And two, as someone who read comic books and wanting to be Bruce Wayne and wanting to fix the world for everyone I loved seemed like an admirable dream.
Sure.
But as an adult, watching it now with my girlfriend who's 10, 11 years my junior, yeah, it looks ridiculous. It's fucking silly.
Yeah.
I still love the way he shot it. I still love the writing. I still love how it evokes violence and silliness all at the same time, to the point that it's almost coming across as satire, but still fucking works. I love that. That's why I can't give it a C.
All right.
And it's because of you. Let's read some reviews of people that agreed with you. A 5 rating by Griffith Johnson. The title is Too Silly for My Generation. The direction is intentional, yet ridiculous. The plot is fitting with a good tone, but the presentation is hard to swallow. The set design and score are very solid. Nicholson is iconic, but it's just so goofy that it's hard to go along.
I agree.
5 stars by Smosh de Pie. Title is A Movie Just Like My Grandma's 30-Year-Old Broken Mug. Jack Nicholson is the only glue holding it together.
I don't understand that. Jack Nicholson.
I don't
is
think they
holding
know
together the mug?
analogies, so
Okay.
that's on them. But I see what they're going for.
Do they know Jack?
Unless that mug has a picture of Jack Nicholson on it,
That's not
that
holding
joke
it
doesn't work.
together.
Yeah.
The glue, if it's broken.
Unless Jack Nicholson had a brand of glue.
I was going to say, I'm like,
joke doesn't
do
work.
they know Jack?
It is still funny. So people that agree with me with my 7 out of 10 score say, for example, Timbo Watching says, a very nice classic. I'm completely new to the Batman series. You heard me right. I've never seen a single Batman film before this one, and we'll be watching the next one after this. This one got me instantly hooked. Of course, I know who Batman and Joker are, plus some of their backstory and general idea of their series, but never something in depth. This film definitely deserves to be called a classic because it's still very great, even to this day, despite being released over 30 years ago. I definitely recommend this film and the Batman series if you haven't seen it before, like me.
Wow. That's a recent review.
Not a great review, though, because it doesn't tell you why. He's just saying, hey, I really liked it. I really liked it. Hey, I really liked it. And then that's it.
Those are my kind of reviews. Yeah.
That's it. Here we are. The end of the episode. 100% recommend, 100% don't recommend.
You saying bullet to my head, bro? Like, do I recommend it, yes or no?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll say this. I like for instance, with Dark Knight, with the mouth, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of just the makeup. His mouth isn't really sliced open. It's just... But the way that they have this, like, special effects makeup with the mouth line going out like that.
With heat in this Batman? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm just saying, it's just... I don't know, like,
it looks silly.
The way that they do that and make his face look fucked up with the mouth.
Isn't that crazy?
In every movie that I've seen or every picture that I've seen with that, style or whatever, it's just a little different. And this was one that I thought was very different in and of itself. It was very unique. It wasn't just, red face paint that was drawn out like a clown. Like, it was actually like, it looked like his face was busted open. And just, that was, to me, the coolest part, was that.
About the Dark Knight.
Nope, about Tim Burton's Batman.
So what you're saying is Tim Burton's idea, or whoever's the writer's idea, of having him have that face solely because there was so much damage to your nerves that as much as I can put your face back together, it's going to look like you're smiling all the time.
Exactly.
Think about that for 1 second. If you had to look in the mirror every single day, and no matter how hard your life is, you have to look at a smile. Right. It's demented. That's a demented existence.
Yeah. So I just quickly pulled up the Joker, right? Sure. And so all these pictures, it's quite literally, it's just lipstick or face paint. That's just...
it's not. There's so many prosthetics for that.
That's makeup. Just extended. No, but I mean outside of this. Outside
Correct.
of the one that we just watched.
Yeah.
Like all these ones, it's really just makeup. It's not really special effects. It's just lipstick or face paint that's just extended beyond his lips. So that was the thing. I just appreciated that this actually had some kind of like special effects, prosthetic element. That was really impressive.
Like when he, like in that meeting at that long table with all the mobsters, his purple hat is down and he just, because he says like, oh, Grissom put you in charge. Mm-hmm. What's up with that stupid grin? Mm. And then it cuts to him and it's just a beautiful round purple hat. And you see his head lift up. Yeah. And you see his face for the first fucking time without the white skin. Yeah. Him covered in his makeup, now that you understand that. Right. But it looks so off-putting because it looks like a normal person's skin. Yeah. With this weird, gigantic grin that you now know is how his face is stuck. Right. But the people at the table do not know that. Sure. And the guy says, what's up with the stupid grin? He goes, life's been good to me. Yeah. And as the audience, on the no, when you're like, oh, he's about to go off. Mm-hmm. Again, I think you're right that I think this is a movie about the Joker, not Batman. Yeah. He's such a great character. Anyway. Yeah. Do you recommend? No. Cool. Didn't like Batman. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time on Is That a Movie? Podcast where I slowly convince my girlfriend who's
basically just scrolling TikTok the whole time.